Hey everybody, Ryan here with CHIIRP. Thank you so much for taking a minute to watch this video. In this video, I had the opportunity to interview John Ryan of Genz, a $35 million HVAC company out of Minnesota. In this video, John explains to us how he's using CHIIRP to rehash existing leads and turn them into customers that are generating over $500,000 per month in additional revenue. You don't want to miss this one. Let's jump in. Hey everybody, Ryan here with CHIIRP. Thank you so much for taking a minute to watch this video. We're super excited to be here. I've got a very special guest today, John Ryan from Genz. We're super excited to have him. He's been a CHIIRP user for the past about 5 months now, and he's had some amazing success. We're super happy to have you. Thank you so much for being here, John. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, Ryan.
Yeah. So one of the things we do, obviously, when we kick off these interviews is we talk about you and your company. If you could tell us just a little bit about, your company, how it came to be, and some of the success you're having right now.
Yeah. So we were founded in 1950 by my father, Jack Ryan, his partner, Louis Genz, Louis's wife, Greta, and also my grandmother, Rose Ryan. And since we kind of hung out our shingle in 1950, we were always engaged in new construction. In 2022, just this past fall, we made the decision to close our new construction division. So we are 100% service and replacement right now. Got about approximately 50 technicians on the road across all different trades, primarily HVAC, but also plumbing, electrical, and drains as well. We're in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. We're in a southern suburb of the what we call the Twin Cities here in Minnesota.
Awesome. Okay, so you guys have this killer reputation for being like front runners in technology and marketing and all these different things. A lot of people talk about, what's Genz Ryan doing? What's Genz Ryan doing? There's a lot of these companies that are trying to scale up to your level. They're in that $5-10 million range. They're trying to scale and they're hitting ceilings. And so one of the questions is, what if you were to go back to that level, if you had to start back at that level, what would you primarily focus on that growth to get to that next level?
Yeah, Ryan, I would say you have to go back and engage with your customer base, which, from an engagement standpoint, you're looking for to keep that relationship, but you're also looking for referrals. Those are worth their weight in gold. And that's about communicating with your customer base, and then also going back, and it's free money laying on the floor. It's those customers that you may have done business with 24, 36 months, even further back, that you haven't stayed in contact with. And this is not one of those businesses or lines of business where, we're not a dry cleaner. You're not coming to us every week. You're not the local coffee shop, right? You need to keep top of mind awareness with your customers. I guarantee every customer has an outlet that's not working quite right, and they're just getting by. They have a drain that's slow. There's a noise or something that's not working, and but they get in the middle of their lives and they don't recall that. So shameless plug for CHIIRP and your company. But that's what we were really looking for, is a tool that would help us engage and re-engage with our customer base on an not only engage with them, but what was the key for us is the automation that really made it simple. Take the human out of it.
Yeah, that's a really good point that I want to kind of touch a little bit more on, because there's so many, and as entrepreneurs, we generally are like, we want to be blazing trails, finding new things, and part of that is finding new customers, and that's just
Right.
kind of innate in our brains, is something we have to do, and we kind of forget that it's more about building an asset than it is about finding the next customer. It's about building a customer base that buys from us over and over and over again. And so that's a really good point, because like a lot of guys are spending a lot of time, how do I get more leads, when they can shift some of their focus to how do I convert more leads that I'm getting into customers that will buy over and over again. So really good point there.
Right. It's the market has changed. It used to be just even 5 to 7 years ago, when you wanted more leads, you just pumped up your pay-per-click, right?
Right.
That's not the case anymore. If you're a small to medium-sized company, if you don't have massive budgets, you're gonna get pushed aside by the bigger companies. However, you can be creative, you can be in your community, you can be connected. It's a grassroots thing. Everybody wants what you call a sticky relationship with your customer, right?
Yeah.
You want them to refer to you as their guy. This is my guy, right? You
Yeah.
want to be my guy to every one of your customers.
Yeah.
And if anyone they know is thinking about it, about anything, you want to be top of mind awareness. And that really comes from engaging with them on all fronts, whenever and wherever you can. And it doesn't have to be a hard sell all the time. It can be a soft sell,
Yeah.
and just an awareness type thing. So yeah, that's really, you have to pay attention to those things. It's free money, quite honestly.
Yeah, awesome. So going back to what we were saying earlier, you guys, that reputation you guys have of being, front runners on marketing, front runners on technology. You guys use ServiceTitan. Tell me, you were comparing. I remember specifically us leading up to when you got on board with CHIIRP. You were comparing several different softwares alongside it. What ultimately, made you pull the trigger and decide to go with CHIIRP?
Yeah, three things, Ryan. Number one was the full integration, right, that you have with ServiceTitan. Obviously, anytime you do something new, there's a little bit of experimentation. Even though ServiceTitan is a kind of an out of the box, there's a way to use it. You have to, when you start doing integrations, you have to pay attention to the fact that your custom way of doing things, you have to get some uniformity going in there, and that's a small blip as far as a learning curve. But the integration is huge. Number two is the automation. That's the other thing that's really huge. Is we had some stuff, we had a piece of software we were using, it was a rehash software. The guys had to manually load the leads in there, right? That's taken care of with the ServiceTitan integration with CHIIRP. They had to queue to have the next piece of automation sent out. And then the third thing that made us go with CHIIRP is all the different platforms you can communicate to your customers on, right? You can really, it's almost like an omni-channel type situation. Well, it really is an omni-channel situation, right?
Yeah.
The text messaging, the email, ringless voicemail, all your integrations you have. We're really excited. We've had some conversations with one of your direct mail partners, who actually happens to be located right in our state.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So we're really excited about that. But it was the integration, the automation, and the omni-channel. Those are the three things, and nobody else had that. So
awesome.
It just kind of really became a no-brainer for us, Ryan.
That's awesome. So, speaking to that, within CHIIRP, for those that are new to CHIIRP, you can build campaigns that include text message, email, ringless voicemail. Like you said, there's direct mail automation. We also had integrations with the Facebook Messenger, Google Messenger, and it brings it all into one inbox. And then, like you said, that integration with ServiceTitan is a huge piece to triggering it, so that you're not having to think, okay, now I need to trigger the follow-up campaign. Now I need to turn off the follow-up campaign. None of that stuff you have to think of because of that integration into ServiceTitan, which just makes a world of difference compared to anything else out there. Now with those campaigns, they can be at all these different stages of the customer journey. You have estimate follow-ups, you have quote canceled follow-ups, you have rehash campaigns. What have been, so far as you've been using this, what have been some of the campaigns that have really shown some success, maybe some surprises that you didn't think were going to be as big of a deal as they were? Tell me about that.
Yeah, so probably our two biggest things that we've done, Ryan, that have been really good successes, is our tune-up campaign. That just I'll be honest, we didn't listen to your team's advice. I think we sent out 2,000 text messages and overwhelmed our phone, our call center. So now we actually are listening now, so we've gotten better.
Some of the guys watching this are going to laugh.
I take that back. We didn't listen one more time with another campaign that was really successful, and it overwhelmed our phones as well. And that was, we had customers that we were moving them from an our outside credit card processing onto Service Titan payments. And so we used a text message to send out to them, like to go onto the customer portal through Service Titan and update their credit card information. And so we sent out a ton of text messages because we thought it would, would just direct them to the website, right? Well, didn't think that through because they're calling to say, is this legit? I just got a text message. Is it real? Yeah. So you have to, first of all, listen to the experts who have seen companies like myself, big, small, medium, whatever, that have not listened to that. You've seen all kinds of other people's mistakes. So listen to the experts, and slow your roll a little bit.
We laugh because we've had that a lot where guys will come in and go, oh, I have no worries, my guys can handle it, and then they send out the text message against our recommendation and don't realize that they are inundating their people with incoming leads from their database.
Correct. So. We also had a lead follow-up campaign that we did, Ryan. And this is just over the last, just kind of looking at my dashboard here. This is over the last just quarter to date. We sent out 427 text messages for lead follow-ups. We got 294 responses. So we got an over 50% response rate on those text messages, which is phenomenal, right? I mean, that far outclasses anything else that we've done. We had 39 indirects, and we booked 124 from that lead follow-up.
124 jobs booked on the books
out of 427. So we basically booked 25% of the text messages that we sent out.
So one of our goals here at CHIIRP is to be the cheapest customer acquisition or booked job acquisition strategy in the marketplace. Do you feel, compared to what else you're doing, do you feel like we're hitting the mark there?
Yeah, again, look at what you're spending for customer acquisition costs on Google, on radio, TV, over the top, out of home advertising, all that stuff, right? This doesn't replace those things necessarily,
100%.
But what it does is, again, you paid for that lead.
Yeah.
It makes sure that you're going to be as effective as you possibly can with that money. It's going to increase your ROI on all those other platforms.
Yeah. You're going to spend all that money to get a customer, and then you're not going to do whatever you can to make sure you keep that customer and make sure they buy again. And that's the thing. That's what people say. It's like the landscape is such that if you whoever can spend the most to get a new customer wins. Right? That's kind of the thing. And it's like, hey, there's people out there that you have to compete with people that are willing to buy customers and lose money right now, knowing that they're going to make it up because they're doing these kind of things, Yeah. And so you have to have that mindset of lifetime customer value, not just will I make money today.
It's been a lot. If you don't mind me kind of sharing one more story, Ryan.
Of course.
We had one of our team members came to us and said, hey, this refrigeration change that's happening, there's a lot of people who, R22, it's getting harder and harder to find, and more expensive. So we went into Service Titan, and we found the customers that we had sold, that we had R22 on their jobs in the last, I think, like 24 months or something like that. And we sent a text message campaign to them. Hey, just want to let you know, R22 is going to get harder and harder to find. It's going to go away. All the refrigerant law changes. So we sent out 227 text messages on that, and we have 13 attributed jobs from that text message campaign.
That's so cool. And the amount of effort it takes to actually send that out. It's not like you're having somebody sit there and send out text messages, right? That's the whole point of CHIIRP, is the automation, is to send them out. And what people are doing otherwise is they're paying other call centers to reach out to their past list. So it's like they gotta buy the customer up front, and then they gotta pay somebody to get that customer back if they're not using that automation. So that's really cool. So you're mentioning these numbers, and that brings up another point. You were the first of our customers to integrate with the Searchlight data dashboard. Can you speak to that a little bit? Tell us a little bit about how that has helped you see, the success of this and how it helps you make decisions.
Yeah, matter of fact, I think I was the one who encouraged the Searchlight guys to reach out to you.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yep.
So,
Yep.
um, I said that because we've been using Searchlight for revenue attribution on all of our other digital marketing, and another group that is incredibly open-minded, like, can we do this? Can we get that information? And I said, hey, have you heard of CHIIRP? And I think I've heard them, so I talked to them a little bit more. I'm like, you guys got to reach out. And I think within like a matter of days, you guys had a conversation and then put this in motion. And I think the cool thing is, like, it provides justification for, number one, it makes you feel good about the effort that you're spending, because the money, like you had said it, Ryan, it's not a big financial commitment, but there's still time involved in it, right?
Yes.
That's your
Yep.
probably your most valuable thing. And so you look at your opportunity cost, and you can really start tracking back. We've got inside sales team that is using this as a tool, and it's been fabulous, for rehashing, for finding leads and all that type of stuff. Things you had to do manually, right? So but then having visibility to that data, what's working, what's not working. Gosh, this campaign, we knocked it out of the park. Why did this one that we had no idea was going to do really well, do so much better than the one that we thought for sure was going to knock it out of the park? And so it allows us to try to find common threads in the data, and then also to measure back a little bit, and we can test something a little bit on a smaller scale, and then have the data to help us decide if it's something we want to do in a larger role.
Yeah, for those that don't know what that is, the Searchlight. So Searchlight is a third-party data company. We partnered with them because we wanted this unbiased kind of approach to data to show what's working and what isn't. And so what it is Searchlight actually integrates with ServiceTitan and with CHIIRP, and it ties together the revenue to show which campaigns brought in what revenue, and that way, that just to explain what you're explaining, so people that can't see it can hear and understand. But that shows the data. It shows like, hey, this campaign brought in this much revenue, brought in this, it sent out this many messages, this many responded, and so on. And it really gives you that insight to be able to determine, because I don't know, what's the saying go, if you can't improve what you don't track. And
Yeah,
so
if you can measure it, you can manage
yeah,
it,
if you can
right?
measure it, you can manage it. Yep, exactly. So that was a big, and that was a huge part for us moving forward this year, and a big push for us this year has been, we knew we had all the tools for the marketing, but it's like, how do we make sure that it's working the way we want it to work? And Searchlight stepped in, and that integration has been a huge part of what we're doing in 2023. So
Yep,
um,
100%.
so you mentioned in that you have your call center, your lead center managing these leads as they go. Can you tell us a little bit about how that process works as far as CHIIRP goes, what they're doing, how many people do you have using it? Speak to that a little bit if you could.
Yeah, how many people do I have using it? Not enough.
Yeah, no,
Because
that's good.
yeah, because we found that, and every time I say this, if people are a little befuddled by it, but 40% of our leads are coming from sources other than the telephone right now. We're able to set up like every call center, right? It'd be nice if the customer sat in an even queue and just stayed there until you were available. But you've got the phone ringing at the same time. There's 20, the form submissions on your website, and then there's messengers coming in, right? So we're using it to help us with those autoresponders, to people who submit things through the messengers, like you aggregate all that stuff. And that's, I'll tell you, the cool thing is it's saved us effort, because we don't have multiple platforms we need to manage. Or I don't want to say we don't have any multiple, we don't have as many platforms that,
Yeah.
we had all the different social media channels. We had to manage all those communications. We're able to aggregate those down into fewer pipelines now. And then, so many customers just want to see, they send you a text message or something on your website or a form. They just want acknowledgement that, yes, I received that. I will get back to you, right? So it buys you time. That's incredibly helpful. But we have, we're going to be adding more people to be doing this. We're going to be increasing our inside sales staff which
Wow.
I guess maybe are better called lead generators. We're going to be utilizing them. We've got a person that probably about 50% of our time is going to be dedicated to customer engagement and reactivation. So I mean, I could go on. There's a number of areas that we have. It's because as you get into this, you start understanding your customers, your business, and the tool better every day, and you constantly are thinking of new ways to use the product to help engage your customers more.
So what I'm hearing is we're saving you time, we're making you money, and we're helping you scale your business.
Right.
So that seems pretty cool from a software from an owner's perspective. That makes me feel really good inside.
Yeah.
Um, so okay, so the question here, the final question, obviously no software is perfect. Everything's constantly changing, everything's catching up. People are researching, they're trying to figure out what to do. What would you tell a company if it was you, a younger company, or another younger company that is in that range of that's thinking about getting into CHIIRP? What would you be your words of advice from the top over there?
Yeah, I would. First thing is, obviously, when you start communicating to your customers in this manner, you need to make sure that you understand the legalities in your own specific area, right? Because every city, state, county, whatever, might have their own little nuances that you need to understand. So first of all, understand that. Number two, you have to understand that you're going to want, when you start doing this, you're going to have early success, and you're going to want to open the floodgates slow is better. You're going to be aggravated by the fact that why didn't I do something like this sooner, and you're going to try to play catch up, right? This is not your 401k. You're not in your 50s trying to do catch up contributions to your 401k, right? Take time because you will make mistakes, you will overwhelm your staff, and the biggest thing that you can do is overwhelm your customers, right? You have to find that balance between not communicating enough and over communicating.
Yep.
So I guess bottom line is, as I say all these things, put a plan together.
Yep.
Put a plan together how you're gonna get into this. And I would say lean on the experts, lean on the CHIIRP staff, because they've seen people. They might be able to connect you with somebody who can help, who's not your market, that could help you out a little bit with this. I think also what's been good is the Facebook user group that you guys have set up.
Yeah.
That's been good because people are really good about this. Is a great thing about this industry is people share. Everyone's been in every kind of situation, right?
Yeah.
You've been through it. And so people are willing to share because that struggle wasn't fun. So have a plan, communicate, and lean on experts, whether they're your peers or the people at CHIIRP themselves.
Cool. Well, this has been just awesome, John. Very much appreciated. It's been really cool to see the success. Seeing it in Searchlight has been really amazing. Seeing the actual numbers and the overwhelming response rates and everything has been really cool. We're super excited to have you in CHIIRP, and really appreciative of this time and the effort you've put into making it work. We know, like I said, no software is perfect, but the tools are there, and the people can, like you said, it's there's always new ways to find ways to use it. There's been times where you've come out with new campaigns where we're like, oh, check that out, that's a cool idea. And there's always users coming up with new ways. Our community is there to support one another and say, hey, this is working for us. Check this out. So very appreciative. Thank you so much for coming on, John.
Yeah, one other thing, Ryan, that I neglected to mention is how helpful your staff is in building our campaigns. So I asked my person in my office, Autumn, who deals directly with your staff.
Yeah.
I said, are we building our own campaigns for CHIIRP? She says, no, they have been doing it for us. We send what we want and they do the work.
Oh.
So
awesome. So, yeah, that actually speaks to something that we do talk about a lot here is our kind of automation is difficult. This stuff we talk about, it's hard, and we understand that, and it's hard for us because we want to get this out to everybody, but it takes time to learn it, takes time to understand it, and so we do have experts here that are here to standing by to build and to help you do things. So that's a really good point you bring up there, that and a lot of people are looking at this going, hey, I want to do this, but it seems very overwhelming. And so thank you for bringing that up, because that's a good something we focus on here is, hey, here's our software, but here's our automation experts that are going to help you put it together. A lot of software companies out there, and it's been something that's been near and dear to me, a lot of these software companies, they're kind of like these Silicon Valley backed companies that are just like, hey, let's get you into a contract and get to the next guy and just shuffle you through, and you end up with this software, and they're like, good luck, hopefully you can figure it out. And that's been a big push for us, is to make sure that companies like you have somebody in your corner to help you build. So thank you for bringing that up, and thank you, Autumn, for, if Autumn's watching this, we appreciate that. But yeah, thank you so much, John. This has been great. This has been really insightful, and I think it's going to help a lot of companies.
Appreciate that. Thank you, Ryan. I really enjoyed speaking with you.
Thank
and
you.
looking at your view, which I'm
yeah,
jealous
pretty
of.
cool.
So,
Okay,
yeah.
Have a great day, John. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, too. Yep.
Bye. Thank you so much for watching that video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you can see that automation can really massively change your business, no matter how big or small you might be. If you're not yet a CHIIRP user and you'd like to learn how you can use text message, email, ringless voicemail, and other automations to grow and scale your business, let's jump on a demo. Head on over to CHIIRP.com, that's CHIIRP.com, and choose a time with a member of our team to get on a demo. Or you can email Justin@CHIIRP.com. We will go over your business, we'll go over your software, and we'll show you how CHIIRP can help you capture more leads, connect faster with those leads, close more deals, and turn those deals into customers that will continue to buy from you over and over again. We'll see you on the demo. Thanks.